Hello, this is Ethan, your host, and I am here to guide you into a deep, restorative sleep. Tonight, we travel far back in time to the quiet hills, marble temples, and moonlit seas of ancient Greece. But before we begin that journey, allow your body to settle completely, exactly where you are now. There's nothing you must do, nowhere you must go, nothing you must solve. For this moment, simply listen and breathe. Let us begin gently. Bring your attention to the very top of your head, your scalp. Imagine a warm breeze moving slowly across it, like the soft Mediterranean wind that once passed through olive groves in ancient lands. Feel the muscles of your scalp relaxing, softening, letting go. Now allow that calm sensation to drift downward to your forehead. Let the skin of your forehead smooth out like still water in a quiet Greek harbor at night. Your eyebrows loosen. Your eyes grow comfortably heavy. Let your eyelids soften now, the tiny muscles around your eyes relaxing. Your eyes resting quietly, as if floating in warm evening air. Now bring your attention to your face. Your cheeks soften, your temples unwind, and your jaw. Allow the jaw to gently release, your teeth slightly apart. No clenching, no effort, only calm stillness. Now feel that calm moving down into your throat, the muscles of the neck loosening, supported gently by the surface beneath you. Your head resting comfortably, balanced and calm. Now bring your awareness to your lungs, your breath moving slowly, naturally, without effort, together. We will take 3 slow breaths. Breathe in gently through the nose, filling the lungs with calm, cool air, and release the breath slowly, letting your shoulders sink deeper into relaxation. Again, breathe in slowly, filling the chest with quiet calm, and breathe out, letting the body grow heavier, more comfortable. One more breath, and slowly, and out, allowing the entire chest to soften. Now feel that calm drifting downward into your stomach, your abdomen relaxing gently, like warm sand settling along a peaceful Greek shoreline. Your belly rises softly with each breath and falls again effortlessly. Now the relaxation moves lower into your hips, your thighs, your knees. Let your legs grow pleasantly heavy, supported fully beneath you. Your calves soften, your ankles relax. Even the tiny muscles in your feet release their effort. Your toes resting quietly, still, comfortable. Your entire body is now calm, from the scalp to the eyes, to the lungs, to the stomach, all the way down to your feet. Your breath slow, steady, peaceful. And now, as your body rests deeply, your mind may begin to wander gently across time, across centuries, toward the quiet world of ancient Greece. Imagine a soft night along the Aegean Sea, the air warm and scented with olive trees, salt, and wild herbs growing along rocky hillsides. Moonlight glows softly across white marble buildings. Narrow stone paths wind between small homes with clay-tiled roofs. Oil lamps flicker quietly in open windows. The sea itself moves slowly against the shore, waves rolling gently onto smooth sand. High above the village rises a small hill crowned with an ancient temple. Its tall marble columns stand pale beneath the moonlight. This temple is dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And beside this temple lives an old philosopher named Theon of Rhodes. Theon is known not for wealth or power, but for a simple and powerful virtue: consistency. Day after day, year after year, Thean follows the same quiet routine. Each morning he walks to the temple steps. Each evening he watches the stars rise above the Aegean Sea. And each night he records his thoughts on small wax tablets. Travelers often come to ask him questions. Young students, curious sailors, even merchants from distant islands. They ask him many things: how to become wise, how to find purpose, how to live a meaningful life. But Thean rarely answers quickly. Instead, he tells them stories. Stories about patience, practice, and the quiet strength that grows when small actions are repeated again and again. Tonight, you are walking slowly up the stone path toward his temple. The gravel beneath your sandals crunches softly. Crickets sing quietly among the wild grasses. The warm breeze carries the scent of olive trees from the valley below. As you reach the temple courtyard, you see Thean seated beside a small marble table. A lantern glows gently beside him. Wax tablets lie neatly arranged across the table. He looks up slowly, noticing your arrival. His eyes are calm, ancient with quiet understanding. He smiles warmly. "Welcome, traveler," he says softly. "You have come at the hour when the world becomes quiet, and truth speaks most clearly." You sit beside him on the cool temple steps. Above you, the vast Greek sky stretches across the sea. Thousands of stars shining gently over the ancient world. The philosopher gazes toward the horizon, where the moonlight touches the calm Aegean waters. Then he speaks again, in a voice steady, patient, timeless. "Tonight, I will tell you a story about consistency, the quiet force that shapes wisdom, just as waves shape the shore." The wind moves softly through the temple columns. The lantern flickers beside the marble table, and beneath the ancient stars of Greece, the story begins. The lantern beside the marble table flickers softly, its small golden light dancing across the ancient temple stones. Thean of Rhodes rests his hands upon the cool marble surface, his eyes drifting slowly toward the distant horizon of the Aegean Sea. For a moment he says nothing. Only the quiet sounds of the night fill the temple courtyard. Crickets among the grasses, a gentle wind brushing through olive branches, and far below, the slow rhythm of waves touching the shore. Then the philosopher begins his story. Many years ago, he says in a calm and steady voice, "When I was still a young student seeking answers, I traveled to the island of Samos." The name floats gently through the warm night air. You imagine the island appearing slowly in your mind. Green hills rising above bright blue water. White stone houses clustered along quiet harbors. Fishing boats rocking gently beneath the moon. Samos, Thean continues softly, was known not only for its beauty, but for a man whose discipline amazed the entire Greek world. The mathematician Pythagoras. The philosopher pauses briefly, as though respecting the memory of the great thinker. "When I first arrived," he says, "I expected to find a man surrounded by endless scrolls and complicated instruments. But instead, I found something much simpler. You listen quietly as the temple lantern hums with warm light, each morning before sunrise." Thean explains, Pythagoras would walk down a narrow path to the sea. The path wound through olive groves across cool stone terraces, until it reached a quiet stretch of sand. The philosopher gestures gently toward the distant coastline below the temple. He walked that path every morning, no matter the weather, no matter the season, rain, wind, summer heat, winter cold. The breeze moves softly through the temple columns. "I followed him one morning," Thean says, curious to see what great secret he practiced beside the sea. You imagine the early dawn of ancient Greece. The sky is still dark, stars fading slowly as the first pale light touches the horizon. The air smelled of salt and damp stone. The olive leaves shimmered silver beneath the first light of morning. Theon's voice grows softer, almost like a quiet memory drifting across centuries. When we reached the shore, Pythagoras did something very simple. He sat upon a flat stone facing the sea, and he listened. The waves rolled slowly toward the sand, each one arriving with the same steady rhythm. At first, I did not understand, Theon says. I expected calculations, diagrams, great philosophical discussions. But instead, he sat there quietly, watching the waves, listening to their rhythm. The philosopher smiles gently. Finally, I asked him why. The lantern flame flickers again. Pythagoras pointed toward the sea, and he said, "Do you hear the pattern? You imagine the waves again, arriving again and again, never rushing, never stopping." He explained that the universe itself follows patterns. The stars move with rhythm. Music follows harmony. And knowledge grows through repetition. Theon runs his fingers slowly across the marble table. Then he picked up a small stick and began drawing shapes in the sand. Triangles, circles, perfect lines. The early sunlight touched the shoreline, the sea glowing softly with golden light. He told me that great understanding is not born in sudden moments. It is built slowly, one day at a time. One small step repeated again and again. The philosopher glances toward the stars, now rising higher above the temple. For many years, Pythagoras repeated the same quiet routines, observing, measuring, listening, and slowly, through consistency, discovered truths that would guide mathematicians for centuries. The wind moves gently across the temple courtyard. The waves never grow tired of reaching the shore, Theon says softly. They return again and again, shaping the sand over time. Consistency works the same way. The philosopher leans back slightly, gazing toward the sea. Small actions repeated every day may appear insignificant, but over months, over years, they shape the mind. They shape wisdom. The lantern light glows warmly beside him. Theon smiles faintly, remembering. I returned to that beach many times after that morning, and each day Pythagoras was there, sitting beside the sea, listening to the rhythm of the world. The temple courtyard grows quieter, the ancient night deepening around you. The philosopher's voice becomes slower now, steadier, like the gentle rhythm of waves. And that is when I understood something important. Consistency is not loud. It does not demand attention, but quietly, patiently, it shapes everything. Far below the Temple Hill, the Aegean Sea continues its endless rhythm. Waves arriving, then retreating, arriving again, just as they have for thousands of years. And beneath the endless Greek sky, the lesson of consistency continues to unfold. The temple courtyard has grown very quiet now. The lantern flame burns gently beside the marble table, its warm light resting softly on the ancient stone floor. Theon of Rhodes sits peacefully, gazing out across the moonlit Aegean Sea. For a long moment, neither of you speak. The wind moves slowly between the tall marble columns, carrying the soft scent of olive trees, wild herbs, and distant sea salt. At last, the philosopher breathes in quietly and continues. Many years passed after my visit to Samos, he says softly. The teachings of Pythagoras stayed with me, like the rhythm of the sea itself. You sit comfortably beside him on the cool temple steps, the stones smooth and calm beneath you. Above, the Greek sky stretches endlessly, filled with quiet stars. Thean continues slowly. As I grew older, I began to see something important. Great wisdom rarely arrives suddenly. It appears through small actions, repeated faithfully day after day. The lantern flickers gently. I began practicing the same habits every morning, walking the same path to the temple, watching the sunrise over the sea, writing a few thoughts onto my tablets. He gestures toward the small stack of wax tablets resting on the marble table. At first, the routine seemed simple, almost too simple. But over the years, something changed. The breeze brushes softly through the temple courtyard. My mind grew calmer, my thoughts clearer, and slowly, wisdom began to grow, just as vines grow slowly along a hillside. The philosopher's voice becomes softer now, more reflective. One evening many years ago, a young traveler came here, much like you have tonight. He asked me the same question I once asked Pythagoras. How can I become wise quickly? Thean smiles gently. I told him something simple. I told him that wisdom is not a mountain you climb in a single day. It is a path walked steadily, step by step. The waves far below the temple roll softly onto the shore. Consistency, he says quietly, is the quiet companion of wisdom. It is the steady rhythm that guides the mind, just as the stars guide sailors across the sea. You feel the calm of his words settling around you, like the peaceful night itself. The lantern beside the table burns lower now, its light softer, warmer. The philosopher looks toward the horizon, where the moon reflects gently across the calm waters of the Aegean. Look at the sea, he says softly. It has been shaping these shores for thousands of years, wave by wave, night after night, without hurry. The quiet rhythm of the ocean seems to echo in the silence. And yet, the coastline slowly changes. Cliffs soften, beaches form, harbors appear. Thean turns toward you again, his voice now almost a whisper carried by the wind. Consistency works the same way within the mind. Small actions, repeated with patience, shape a wise life. The temple courtyard grows still. The lantern flame flickers gently, then steadies again. Tonight, you have heard the story of the sea, the story of a philosopher, and the quiet lesson of consistency. He folds his hands calmly upon the table. Now, the night will do the rest. The wind moves slowly between the marble columns. The lantern glows softly beside the ancient temple wall. Far below the hill, the Aegean Sea breathes in gentle waves, waves rolling onto the shore, then retreating again. The olive trees rustle quietly in the warm night breeze. The stars above Greece shine with ancient calm. Your breath grows slower, deeper, peaceful. The temple grows silent. The lantern flame flickers softly. The sea continues its endless rhythm. Everything is calm. Everything is quiet. The ancient night holds you gently. And slowly, very slowly, the story fades into silence.